Finding a 1 peso coin or a paper bill is usually an unusual thing. But stumbling upon hidden treasures and ancient artifacts by accident, that's really the most incredible. There are some lucky people who have discovered ancient treasures from Austria. There are also those who have unearthed dinosaur bones that are millions of years old. And some of these rare discoveries can make the finders rich, but others are quite creepy and scary. Today, we will take a look at some stories of people who suddenly made discoveries, some of the rarest things in the world, discoveries that they really did not expect. But before we start, what is the coolest thing you've ever found or discovered unexpectedly? Share it in the comments section. But before we start, if you're new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe so you'll always be updated with videos like this. Number 15, Playa Sorbonne. Just imagine you're digging in your backyard, and then you suddenly discover a very important part of history. That's exactly what happened to Jan Lambert from Sukak. While he was fixing the fence in his yard, he noticed a very large bone at the far end of the land. Of course, his curiosity got the better of him, so he approached it. But instead of immediately calling an expert, he put the bone in his shed. After all, who would immediately think that it was a dinosaur fossil? Years went by before he considered taking the strange object to the IF Museum. There, experts confirmed that it wasn't just an ordinary bone. It was a fossil with tremendous historical significance. The experts were greatly surprised to learn that Jan never even suspected that it might have come from a creature that lived more than 250 million years ago. Even more surprising, according to studies, plesiosaurs usually lived in the oceans surrounding Africa, Australia, and China, not in Great Britain. So how did this fossil end up in Lambert's garden? It's possible that it was carried by glaciers from the northern seas in ancient times, or maybe some collectors brought it there and eventually forgot about it. Plesiosaurs are extinct marine reptiles that lived during the Jurassic and Cretaceous eras. They were like giant crocodiles with long necks, huge heads, and powerful jaws capable of crushing their prey. They were carnivores and could reach lengths of 4 to 15 meters. There's no doubt that the T-Rex has long been gone from this world. But some cryptozoologists believe that there may still be some ancient creatures that continue to swim in the deep and dark parts of the ocean. Whether it's true or not, one thing is for sure. The discovery of that bone in an ordinary backyard is truly remarkable. Number 14, a hand of gold. Have you ever heard about the Midas touch, where everything you touch turns to gold? It's kind of like that, but this one is real and even more extraordinary. Kevin Ayler was an Australian who was quite unusual. He lived in a bus with his wife and 4 children. They traveled around Australia as part of a simple family journey and adventure. But everything changed when Kevin injured his back while on the trip. While recovering, his doctor advised him to try metal detecting as an exercise to strengthen his back. And that's where his unexpected fate began. In 1980, while he was metal detecting in Kingover State Forest in southeastern Australia, his metal detector suddenly went off loudly. He dug almost a foot down and saw the tip of a gold nugget. He thought it was only 50 ounces, but as he kept digging, it got even bigger. He spent more than 2 hours digging until he finally unearthed the whole piece. It was a hand-shaped chunk of gold weighing almost 30 kilos. It was one of the largest gold nuggets ever found using a metal detector, which was later called the Hand of Faith. The Healer family sold the rare find to the Gold Nugget Casino in Las Vegas for $1 million. And because of this, they were able to buy a house in Perth, a new car, a vacation in Holland, and many more things. Hoping for more luck, they even claimed a gold mining site in the same area and cleared it using a bulldozer. Unfortunately, they didn't get rich anymore, but they did find a few small nuggets. Each was about 20 grams, but none as big as the first one. You only get this lucky with gold once in a lifetime. Number 13. The Declaration of Independence in a flea market. In 1989, a lucky collector bought an old painting at a flea market in Pennsylvania for $4, and what he was really after was just the frame. But when he tried to remove the artwork from the frame, he noticed something unusual inside. Between the canvas and the wooden frame, there was an old document tucked in. And it wasn't just any ordinary paper. He discovered that it was actually an early printing of the United States Declaration of Independence, one of the most important documents in American history. The value of a few dollars at the flea market suddenly turned into a fortune, worth almost $1 million. Imagine that. You just went to the flea market to buy a cheap frame, then you go home holding a piece of history that could change your life. There are really times when the greatest treasures are hidden in the most ordinary places. Number 12, whale vomit. This thing may seem disgusting to see on the beach, but what if we told you it's actually worth millions? Jamrus Piasha, a 55-year-old fisherman, only earns a little over $13 a day and is barely making ends meet. In early 2019, while he was walking along the shore, he noticed a yellow lump that looked like wax. At first, he wasn't sure what this thing was, but he suspected it might be ambergris, a rare substance formed in the stomach of a sperm whale. Ambergris is used in the perfume industry because even a small amount of it can make a fragrance last longer. And what he found was truly a huge chunk. It's like floating gold for the perfume industry. Jamrus hid the lump in his shed first and continued with his normal life. Almost a year passed before he finally decided to find out the truth. He contacted the provincial governor, who brought an expert to his house. The results showed that this substance was proven to be no less than 80% pure ambergris, with an estimated value of almost $300,000. Sometimes luck can really be found in the most unexpected and amazing ways. Number 11, jeep pound diving underwater. If you love the sea, the waters of the Andaman Sea are like a treasure chest. From the crystal clear blue waters, mangroves, to the colorful marine life, this is truly a paradise for divers. One of the most fascinating discoveries underwater is a jeep submerged near the shores of Havelock Island. This jeep seems to have been underwater for a long time. It's surrounded by corals and has become a home for small fish and other sea creatures. It's like a scene from World War II, seemingly left behind, under the ocean, and forgotten by time. Now, instead of running on the road, this jeep has become part of the lives under the sea. A silent memory of the past slowly being covered by nature. Number 10, the Churchill Collection. One of the most famous Britons of the 20th century is none other than Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister who helped lead the Allied forces to victory in World War II. So imagine having a piece of clothing he wore, a box of his cigars, or even a handkerchief he used. Most likely you would treasure it for life. But it seems there was one person who didn't do that. In 2019, a collection of Churchill's personal belongings was simply thrown away, and it's a good thing someone noticed. The appraisers authenticated the collection because there were about 200 letters stored, along with a top hat and cigars. Churchill didn't write the letters. They were written by his cook. She reportedly wrote to her child every day, telling stories about Churchill's daily life, what he was doing, how he was feeling, and all sorts of small but interesting details. The collection is estimated to be worth around $13,000, but its true value goes beyond money because it offers a rare glimpse into the private life of a leader who shaped history. Number 9, terrifying sea creature found in Cape Town. Imagine that you're just walking along the shore to relax. Then you see something that looks like a mix of a shell, a fish, and a squid. That's exactly what Leandra Beezer saw on a beach near Cape Town while on vacation. She did what most people would naturally do. She took a photo of it and posted it on Facebook to ask what it was. It looks made up or like a creature from a horror movie, but it's actually real. It turns out it's a clingfish known as the red rock sucker. It quickly went viral and was shared thousands of times online. And in fact, when the fish is still alive, it's actually kind of cute with its sharp teeth hidden behind thick lips. But when it dies and gets exposed to the sun, the story really changes. As the skin dehydrates, it gradually shrinks and pulls back until the jaw and sharp teeth are fully exposed. It's as if it's slowly mummifying from the outside in. They are usually found in tide falls from the coast of Namibia to the northern part of the next area. Their main food is aquatic snails that cling tightly to rocks. But with the strength of their jaws, they can easily remove them. Sometimes what seems like a monster is just an ordinary sea creature. Number 8, Ferrari Beretta in the backyard. There are 2 ways to get an Italian sports car. Save up a lot of money or hope that there's one buried in your backyard. In 1978, 2 young boys had that experience. In the yard of their new house, While they were digging a hole, they noticed something unusual under the ground. And as the hole got deeper, they were shocked to see a car buried there. And it wasn't just any car, it was a 1974 Ferrari Dino 246 Gran Turismo Spider. In the investigation, it was discovered that it had been reported stolen 4 years earlier. Since the owner could no longer find it, it was sold to the insurance company to the highest bidder. But the story didn't end there. In 2012, information came out that the owners themselves buried the car in an abandoned swimming pool to get insurance money. After getting the payment, they disappeared and left the Ferrari underground for about 4 years, until it was discovered by 2 kids who were playing. Sometimes wealth doesn't just disappear, it's really buried. Number 7. Disney memorabilia in California. If you're a fan of the show Storage Wars, you probably know the thrill of opening a storage unit without knowing what's inside. It's like a treasure hunt, usually junk, but sometimes a jackpot. In 2011, a massive collection with over 40,000 pieces of movie and television memorabilia was found in an abandoned storage locker in California. The previous owners were executives in the entertainment industry. For many years, they quietly amassed a wealth of Hollywood props and costumes, posters, scripts, and other production items from various films. But when they failed to pay the rent for the storage unit, everything inside was left behind and ended up at auction. At that auction, 2 lucky bidders acquired the entire collection, and when they looked inside, it was like a real museum. There were original production cells from the Walt Disney Company, hand-drawn animation sheets used in making classic animated films, original artwork by Tim Burton, unreleased publicity photos, and many theatrical photos. It's not just Disney, there were also memorabilia from Hollywood and even Bollywood productions. A collection like this could be worth millions of dollars if you plan to sell it. But in reality, if you were the one who discovered it, would you be able to sell it? Or would you just keep it as one of the most epic treasure finds in the history of storage auctions? Number 6. Pink grasshopper. The pink grasshopper is the result of a genetic mutation called erythrocin. This is a condition related to a recessive gene, similar to albinism, which causes an unusual color, and in this case, it's pink. A family from Austin personally witnessed this when 3-year-old Brooks Brugger found a pink grasshopper in their garden in Oak Hill. Brooks loves insects, so he talked to it and even took care of it like a new friend. They didn't immediately realize how rare it was until his mother researched about it. According to Jared Alvey from the University of Delaware, the pink color of grasshoppers is usually caused by a recessive trait, which is why it is very rare in the world. There are also some experts who believe that this used to have many dominant traits, but it gradually disappeared because predators can spot the bright pink color more easily compared to the green environment. In a world that's all green, being pink is like having a spotlight on your body. But why do they still exist? It's possible that there are times when being pink becomes advantageous. For example, in places with reddish grass or flowers. Or because of what's called Batesian mimicry, where an organism copies the color of another creature that predators don't like to eat. After being observed and admired, the pink grasshopper was returned to where it truly belongs. Number 5. 3.5 million chunk of quartz in Arkansas. 5. Just imagine working in a mine and suddenly discovering an 8-foot block of crystal worth almost $3.5 million. That's exactly what happened to Ron Coleman, a miner in Jezebel. This region is well known for its 170-mile quartz vein running underground. So even though the discovery was surprisingly large, it wasn't really that impossible. It took 4 days of digging before they could finally lift the huge block. First, the crew blasted part of the area to find the vein. Then they used hand tools to carefully dig out nearly 2,000 pounds of quartz chunk. And finally, machines were used to lift it out of the mine. This is one of the most impressive crystal clusters found since mining began there before World War II. This newly discovered one is the second largest in the history of the mine. The largest, a 9-foot round formation weighing 3,000 pounds, was found 1 or 2 years before this. The larger piece has been displayed at various trade shows in Arizona. While the $3.5 million quartz remains in Jezebel for now, it's waiting for the next lucky buyer. Number 4. Message in a bottle. While you're walking along the beach, you sometimes can't help but wonder, what if you dropped a bottle with a letter inside and let the waves carry it away? Romantic, mysterious, like a movie scene. But there was a bottle that actually traveled for more than a century. In 2018, Tanya Eliman found an old bottle washed up on a remote beach in Western Australia while she was walking. She first thought it was just a decoration, but after drying it in the oven at home, she noticed the paper inside. Later, experts confirmed that it was a genuine message from a German ship dated June 12, 1886. The bottle was thrown from the ship Paula as part of an experiment by the German Naval Observatory to study ocean currents and shipping routes. The note stated that if found, the German consulate should be contacted. And it's a bit too late for that now. More than 130 years have passed. 3. $10 million in gold coin. These are the... Do you want to feel like you're in Pirates of the Caribbean? Costumes, swords, and of course, mountains of gold. A married couple from California almost experienced that kind of scene in real life. While they were walking with their dog on a trail they had passed many times before, they noticed the edge of a rusty can sticking out from the side of the hill. They dug it out using only a stick and took it home. Inside, there were gold coins. The discovery is now known as the Saddle Ridge Hoard, which contains 1,411 gold coins minted between 1847 and 1894. The total estimated value is over $10 million, and they didn't just find one can. On their subsequent visits to the area, they found even more treasure field guns. Naturally, they did not reveal their names. With this amount of money, relatives and friends will surely start checking in on you. And sometimes, a simple walk outside can change your whole life. Number 2, a glass ball. A married couple was just walking along the beach when they noticed something unusual sticking out of the sand. It was a round glass object that looked like a ball, but it wasn't just a simple decoration. As they looked at it closely, they noticed that its inside and surroundings seemed to have become home to tiny creatures, like a mini marine ecosystem that formed over time. There are also some speculations that some of these kinds of glass balls are part of an art project. According to stories, there is an artist who makes these, and they are hidden in different parts of the world for people to find, like a modern treasure hunt. Imagine you're just walking along the beach and then you discover something like a secret art of the world. Number 1. Action Comics Number 1. Action Comics Number 1 is the first appearance of Superman in the world of comics and is recognized as the most expensive comic book in history. There are estimated to be only about 100 copies left in the whole world. And one of these was once owned by the actor Nicolas Cage. He bought it in 1997 for $150,000. But in 2000, it was stolen from his house in Los Angeles, and he thought it was gone for good. Until a lucky person discovered it inside an abandoned storage locker in Southern California. In the end, Nicolas Cage decided to sell the comics anyway, and he got $2.16 million. If you have new comics, you should take care of them. Put them in the right place and keep them in good condition because someday they could be the key to a huge amount of money.